How is it going, everyone? I hope that everybody's been having a great day as well as a great week so far. I know it's been quite a long time since I've made a video or even posted a video on here. I've made quite a few, just haven't uploaded them because they've just been crappy, trashy. Just because I don't edit any of these videos. If any editing, if you want to consider it editing, I may pause the video in order to bring into a different screen because I have multiple monitors, or it has something to do with me making sure that that I'm trying to angle something right to fit it onto the screen or whatever, what have you, trying to do something like that. But ultimately, I don't do any sort of editing. So, anyways, I wanted to basically make this video. This is going to be somewhat of a kind of all over video. I know that I've been getting a lot of comments, a lot of emails since I've been gone for these 3 months. I kind of wanted to update everybody into understanding why I have been gone and why I haven't been responding to your emails. And basically, I wanted to make this video to kind of be an answer to a lot of people's emails to me because it has been crazy how many of you guys have been emailing me, asking me a lot of questions. So first off, an update on myself. For the past 3-4 months, I have been partnering up with another firm. They're based out in Hong Kong. It has been quite a journey so far. It has been a lot of paperwork, a lot of meetings, a lot of traveling, and it has gotten me to where I am right now, which is I'm finally able to kind of just relax for a couple of weeks and then be able to make a video like this and upload and be able to answer you guys a little bit here and there. But ultimately, I'm going to be extremely busy. I will not be able to upload nearly as much as I was able to in the past. I wanted to talk to you guys about, a lot of the comments that I get that are the negative ones and also the positive ones, because I want to kind of reach out to the ones that are maybe this is the first video that you'll see. I wanted to talk to you guys about, with this channel, my intentions for this channel is to get to the people who have either never been in this industry and they're looking for an answer, or they've been in this industry for a while and they've been doing very poorly and they're looking for an answer, and just kind of shed some light. I'm not here to put you into another company. I'm not here to recruit you. I'm not here for you to buy something that I'm selling. I'm not here for anything like this. A lot of people call me the scammer when I tell them, that their god is a scammer. But ultimately, the definition of a scammer is that I'd have to be swindling you into something, or I'd have to be, trying to sell you into something or corrupting you in some sort of way. But I'm not. I try to produce the facts, and I do a lot of investigation. I get a lot of emails from you guys. The only time that I ever do I do a video on a company is because someone has emailed me with proof about a company, and then I go investigate on my own, and then I make the video. I never just do this on my own and look for in a company. I'm like, oh, this looks like crap, and then I do the video. So ultimately, it's you guys that support me doing the videos. Secondly, I want to talk to you guys about the subscriber count. Now, I just realized that we're over 500, which is kind of insane. I never thought this video or channel would ever get this big. Excuse me, kind of been fighting a cold here for the next few days, and with over 58,000 views on all the channels alone, I can't thank you guys enough. I'm going to really try. I don't know how the YouTube thing works. I don't know if I'm able to stop ads from happening, but I'm not trying to earn any money from this YouTube channel. I'm just trying to give you guys the facts and kind of shed some light. So, with that being said, let's just kind of get down into it. I'm going to flip this over into a chart, Thinkorswim chart, just so you guys have something pretty to look at other than looking at something that is dull like the YouTube channel. So, I'm going to be using this chart here in a little bit, but first of all, I wanted to talk to you guys about just some fundamentals when it comes into the understanding of the Forex market. Now, a lot of people have been asking me a lot of questions, and I implore you guys, I'm going to flip back over here. So I implore you guys to watch this video, The Ugly Truth. If you haven't watched it yet, before you watch this video, watch that one, or at least kind of skim through it. I don't care if you watch it, all of it, just kind of skim through it if it gets a little boring. I know it's almost an hour long, but try to watch it. It talks about the companies that are really spreading a virus within this industry. It talks about that, and that's going to kind of tie into what I'm talking about here into this video, which is understanding the facts and the realistic data when it comes into the trading of the Forex marketplace. Now, I know that I'm talking fast. I'm going to be really talking fast in the video, so I don't get this video over 30 minutes long. I may hit that, I may not, but understand this. The first thing that I want to talk about is people who are rather, if you've not been in this industry for very long and you're just starting and you're trying to find an answer, or you've been in this industry for a year, 2, 3, 4, and you're still trying to find an answer, it all boils down to the same thing. A lot of these companies, a lot of these gurus, quote unquote gurus, using the little quote bunnies here, is they're never going to tell you this information. And I hope that you take this to heart, because a lot of this is going to maybe be hard to swallow, maybe hard to hear. So understand, the very first thing that I tell people, if you're brand new to this industry, go to babypips.com and go through their free training. I'm pretty sure it's free. I've never gone through it myself because they didn't have that when I was going into this. I had to read from books. So go to babypips.com, go through that course. I'm pretty sure it's free, which is so funny because a lot of the companies that are out there right now, they use Baby Pips and they try to sell it back to you, which is ridiculous. But you can go and do it for free. Another thing is do not listen to these companies and people who say to not read books. Read as many books as you can. Read candlestick charting books. I read the candlestick charting book from Tina Logan. Go and check that out. You don't even have to buy it. It's free online. Forex, I know that a lot of people have asked me about Currency Trading for Dummies. I actually still own that book, and I flip through it even still to this day, looking at market changes and seeing how maybe some things that they talk about, because they don't talk to you about strategy, they just talk about the Forex marketplace. And I kind of read through here and there. I'm at the end of the day, I'm still a retail trader, as we all are. So I'm not an institutional, trader. I'm just, I'm going into this as a retailer. I just, manage a lot of money. But going into that book, I would say that that's not really beginner level. That's more advanced in my opinion, but read it if you want to. And then of course, a lot of people ask me about harmonics. Now, going into harmonics, obviously everybody thinks harmonics trading is iMarkets Live or IML. No, it's not. Scott Carney is the one who invented the harmonics trading. He's the one who has trademarks on pretty much every single harmonic name. When you go to bat patterns and I don't know if he owns Gartley, but you have bat patterns, and then you have Gartley, and then there's all these other ones. But I don't trade harmonics, but read his books by Scott Carney, which is Harmonics Trading Volume 1. I think he has Volume 2. I'm not too sure. I talked to that gentleman on the phone. Very, very humble, very, very pleasant to talk to. And he actually shed a lot of light onto IML. And if I were you, I would really stay away from that company within the next 6 months to probably a year. That company will probably fold because of everything that's going on. So, with that being said, I wanted to talk to you guys about the fundamentals, the core section of Forex market. Now, a lot of people understand that psychology is very, very important to the Forex market and just trading alone. Now, I believe that psychology is the actual key component into actual trading. Now, a lot of people will say, no, it's strategy. No, it's having a good strategy, having a good system. No, it's your analysis. These are very, very true, but ultimately down the line, it's even if you had $1 million strategy and you knew exactly when to pull the trigger, it is going to take you to actually pull the trigger. A lot of people talk about Fibonacci's and taking it from the high to low or low to high, and taking it and figuring out exactly from maybe the 38.2 or the 61.8 or whatever the case may be, and looking at things like that and knowing that that is a perfect system. Now, ultimately, it's going to take your psychology, because trading your real money is very, very difficult. I can definitely say that, and I'm sure a lot of people will, and definitely vouch for that. Trading with your own money is a test game. I mean, it really tests you on your ability to take risk, and it really tests you on an emotional level. So understand that. Now, a lot of people don't know this, because a lot of these gurus don't tell you this, or because they don't know this themselves, is that now, this is a true statistic here, and because this is very, very, very hard to grasp, because a lot of people don't really want to hear it, because it makes them kind of lose hope in themselves, but I'm telling you this because you need to know this, is that 90% of Forex traders, or just traders alone, the day trading community, 90% will lose 100% of their account or their equity within a 6-month time frame. 90% of you guys will lose 100% of your account, bust your account within a 6-month time frame. Now, that's completely okay, because everybody busts accounts, but when you look at all of these people who are, trading and they seem to be doing well, haven't you ever noticed that none of them have a 6-month portfolio? Haven't you noticed that none of them have had even above 6 months? They always had maybe 2-3 months. I can show you IML's MyFXbook page, which I think is only 2 months old, and it's already busted, and they haven't even updated it in about a few weeks because it basically busted. Vector Kings University did the exact same thing. Nobody is able to show a true portfolio. Now, another statistic that I want to read to you guys is something that I found, which is this. 80% of all day traders quit within the first 2 years. Among all day traders, nearly 40% day trade for only 1 month. Within 3 years, only 13% continued to day trade, and after 5 years, only 7% remain. So even if you take, let's just round it into 10,000 people, only 7% of those people will actually keep going within a 5-year time frame, which is interesting because around 2013 was really, I think, around the time that trading really got into the masses because of the green room and binary options. So we're really hitting into 2018 being that 5-year mark, and you see how many people have left. And especially when I saw it, I saw a lot of people leave when it came from that side to now. But a lot of people are joining right back in. Now, from this point onward, you're going to see, again, more people. By 2022, you're going to see a lot of people just leave because they're not able to handle the stress, they're not able to handle it, or because maybe they don't have a large account and they're not able to make the funds that they want. That they're relying on Forex to be the #1 source of income, and they're looking for a way out. Now, I want to talk to you guys now about strategy. Now, a lot of people talk about strategy, and they talk about how there's a lot of systems, indicators, methods, and all sorts of stuff that you can buy, or you can get them for free online. I implore you that if you're looking for a system, don't buy it, or even an indicator as well. Just get it for free online. They're all for free online. Don't waste your time or hard-earned money buying it, because a lot of these people, they package it, they try to repackage it, try to rebrand it in a way, change the colors, try to change things, and ultimately what ends up happening is that it looks like something unique when it really isn't, and they just try to sell it to you. So, you saw this with Pip Society, as well as Vector Kings University, as well as Ward 3 Associates doing all that with Steve Morrow stuff. Steve Morrow has many investigations with people who have stolen his stuff or try to rebrand it and make it into their own. So that's big. So with strategy, I'm going to tell you your journey when it comes to trading. Now, a lot of people don't want to take this to heart. A lot of people don't want to agree with this, but this is how it's going to be. I've worked with a lot of people. I did over 250 one-on-one sessions in my journey of doing this, and when I was actually teaching people. And the very first 50, 75 people were all free, and then I had to start charging because it became too much. But eventually what I ended up seeing was that what I thought was actually true, because I saw it within myself as well, is that no system, if I were to say, okay, well, I'm going to give you an indicator that's going to give you an arrow, and then you're going to sell when that arrow shows down, or you're going to buy when that arrow shows to go up, or a crossover, or anything, whatever the case may be. When this candle hits this line, you're going to go down, or whatever. These are not that, but I mean, I'm just giving you an example. But ultimately, it's going to be you that has to pull the trigger, and there are a million different ways to trade the right way. I think that there's a lot more ways to do it right than there are to do it wrong. And so I believe within my own experience is that a lot of people, especially for me, when because I have a lot of people that I hang around that are successful in this business, not just myself, that I may do something that they don't agree with, or I may do something that they don't agree with, and it goes back and forth. But yet, we still stay successful. Now, that doesn't say that what I'm doing is right or wrong, and that doesn't say that what they're doing is right or wrong. It's just right for us. So if anybody is trying to teach you a strategy, especially if it's not their own, if a lot of people, again, are using Steve Morrow's strategy, so they're taking it from somebody, then trying to teach you. So if you were ever a kid playing the game telephone, you know how that usually ends up. But understand that ultimately, what ends up happening is that you will find something that works best for you. You're going to be going through the charts, you're going to be going through all of this methodology, and you're going to say, oh my gosh, I have an aha moment. I'm going to sell when this happens here. I'm going to buy when this happens here. You're going to demo it. You're going to do great. And then you're going to go in live, and then you're going to do even better. So that's what's going to end up happening. But not many of you will have that aha moment because you won't last long enough to go through it. I myself believe that it takes up to 1.5 to 2 years to get consistently, not successful, but consistently profitable in the marketplace. I think it takes that long because you go through a lot of right and wrongs. You go through a lot of, if you want to call them failures, but I don't like to call them failures or mistakes. They just, you're finding out your own strategy. That's just how it is. That's what it looks like. So I would go ahead and say the biggest thing for you is, I'm going to kind of give you an idea of what I used to do. And before I go through that, I also want to tell you this. And again, this video is going to be all sorts of back and forth, blah, 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 blah. So I hope that, I might not stay on one particular topic for a short period of time and then revert back to it. But it's just because I'm trying to get a lot of information as far as answering a lot of you guys' emails. A lot of these companies and a lot of people will, and you may do this yourself without even realizing it, is that a lot of these people will try to teach you a lot of different currency pairs. They're going to teach you, oh, look at the Euro USD, look at the GBP USD, look at the AUD USD, look at the Euro CHF, look at the Kiwi, look at Sterling, and look at all of these different things, right? But ultimately, if you're brand new or if you are not consistently profitable at all, I still, even to this day, will say if you're trading for 2 years, but you're not profitable yet and you keep losing accounts, I still will say you need to go back to the basics and you need to look at one currency pair and stay with that pair, and that is it. Now, a lot of people will ask, well, can I choose that pair? No. What you need to stick with is the Euro USD, and that's it. Now, a lot of people ask me, Bruce, why would you say to stay with that pair? A lot of people don't know this either, and I'm sure a lot of these companies will probably steal a lot of this information, but this is true, is we all know that the Forex market is a $5 trillion traded market every single day. The Euro USD holds just about 30% of that volume. So wouldn't it make sense for you to be in that marketplace? The one that holds almost 1/3 of the $5 trillion a day is the Euro USD. It would make sense to me. So when I first started into this, what I did is I had the Thinkorswim platform. This is the exact same platform that I was trading. Well, it looks a little bit different because they've updated it a lot. But I was using the Thinkorswim platform, and I looked into the Euro USD, and I was constantly looking at the chart. I would go to the 15-minute and the hourly and the minute and the 5-minute, trying to find what's the best time frame, looking at the candlesticks, knowing that was the best, for me anyways. Not that it's the best in general. A lot of people trade line charts. If you go into the firms, a lot of them actually trade line charts. But bar charts are good too. It's whatever your preference is, especially in the color coding in your charts. That's all personal preference. Nothing is right or wrong here. And so, but anyways, I did this every single day, every single night. I had a 9-to-5 job, and I was journaling every single thing that I could look at from my strategy. I was finding, okay, well, that lost. Why did it lose? And I'd write down why. If it won, I'd write down why it won. And now I wouldn't write down because I'm awesome or because I suck. I would actually try to analyze why did it do something great and why did it do something poorly. I wanted to understand that. And if it won, did it win by a lot or did it win by so little? Why did it do that? When I saw big swings like this, I would look at it and say, okay, well, that was at 7 o'clock. Now I'm going to look at the date and I'm going to Google that and see what happened. That's when I found out about fundamental analysis and finding out, economic calendars from investing.com or Forex Factory, whatever your preference again. But I started to learn things like that, and I did this for 8 months solid, every single day, and journaling every single trade. I still have the journal to this day. I filled up actually 2 journals from this, and I did it every single day, every single trade I journaled. And I wasn't actually even trading. I wasn't even placing these trades. I was going back and seeing, okay, I'm going to look at the chart. I would live trade from my notebook, not on the actual platform itself, because this was too intimidating for me to figure out to do trades on. And then obviously I came across MetaTrader 4, and that was a little bit more simplistic, and then the story goes. So that is what my journey was, and it took me 2 years, almost 2 years, to get consistently profitable. And 8 months of those 2 years was doing that. And a lot of you guys won't actually take the time to just not trade at all for almost a year's time and really try to dabble into the marketplace and really try to understand it. Why does it move the way it does? Why did we trend up here and then trend down here and then have this big spike? Why this? Why that? Why are we only hitting at a high here? Why are we only hitting at a low here? Why do we have resistance? Why do we have support? Those things are very, 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 very important. Now, coming to resistance and support, or support and resistance, a lot of people will tell you that support and resistance is not, oh, well, that doesn't exist, that isn't right, that I've seen a lot of people say, oh, support and resistance is bullcrap. It isn't. Support and resistance is a really, really good tool if you know how to actually use it. Anybody who's going to sit there and draw a support level and say, well, if this was your support level here, and you see here it broke through and it just rose, that isn't how you do that. That's a person who does not know what they're doing. Read and analyze, understand support and resistance levels. Take time to learn them. Take time to learn price action. Take time to learn trend line analysis. These things are very, very, very crucial. So I want you guys to understand that. A lot of people don't realize, they say, well, like, look, all this trend line stuff, and then it broke through, and look at the diamond trend, blah, blah, blah. They don't know what they're talking about. So you have to understand what it is that a trend line does. Look at channels. Look at whatever interests you. Again, there's a million ways to do it right. You can do technical analysis. You can do fundamental analysis. Now, going into that, I truly believe that if you're a beginner or a person who's just trying to understand and get to the core basics, stay with technical analysis for now, but always know what's going on within the news. Anybody who says that the news is irrelevant doesn't know what they're talking about. If I can just give you an idea, go to January of 2015. I think it was January 10th or 15th. I can't remember exactly when. It was within that time frame, but it was 2015. It was the Swiss franc. Okay, no one knew that was happening if they were new to the game. But a lot of people lost a ton of money. Actual brokers, yes, it was the 15th of January of 2015. A lot of brokers actually closed their doors. FXCM did, Alpowery did. A lot of them closed their doors because it was a huge, huge, huge drop. And a lot of you guys are just new to this marketplace and don't even know what happened then. Do the research, find out why that drop happened, and that was all fundamentals. That had nothing to do with technical analysis. So if you're not aware of the news, then you will hit some of these rare opportunities. You may go and take a $10,000 account and boost it up to 120K within 3 years' time or 4 years' time, whatever the case may be, and you're like, man, I've got all this money, and then you go big, and then you lose it all based off of one trade. Now, a lot of you guys will say, well, if I had my stop loss there, I would have gotten stopped out. Not in a spike like that. You would not. You have what is a higher spread. There's gaps in the market because no one was buying back. You end up losing just about everything, which is why these brokers ended up losing a lot of money. So always do your research. I can't stress that enough. I know that I may be repeating myself on a lot of this stuff, and I do apologize. But a lot of people too will talk about. There's a lot of groups that talk about M's and W formations. Don't listen to the people who say, well, A, B, and C, D patterns or X, A, B, C, D patterns don't work, or harmonics don't work, or, M's and W's don't work, but they do work. But you have to know how to do them. And one of the biggest things here, and this has to be probably one of the most important things that I can tell you in this video, is you are a follower, not a predictor. You are not trying to find the low all the way to the high. You're not trying to buy here to sell off here. You're not trying to do that. That is not your job as a Forex trader. You're trying to take out little pieces of the market to what is to your liking. And that's it. You are not trying to suck the market dry. Trying to tell somebody, well, you see this, and you see this, and then you see this W formation. Yeah, you would buy here. There are videos like from these companies like Pip Society who tell you to do this stuff, and in hindsight, this looks amazing, but it's in hindsight. So you have no idea, what is actually going on as the market is developing. You do not know. You could easily say, if I could show this, Let me just erase this. My apologies. In an actual market, you could say, okay, well, went down here, and then we went back up, and then we went here, and then we went there, and maybe you bought here, which is great, right? But maybe your stop loss was down at this leg here. Well, you would have gotten stopped out. And even if you say, well, I would have put my stop loss down here, you don't know. You don't know until that time actually comes. And that is where psychology is big. And a lot of people would say, well, I would have held on. No, you wouldn't have. This is why so many people, talk about the whole Bitcoin madness, and they talk about how, Bitcoin, if you would have had Bitcoin back in 2009 and you would have, had it here, you'd be a multi-millionaire. You'd have $72 million. That's the number that keeps getting thrown out. Tell me one person who bought Bitcoin at that moment and sold yesterday. Nobody did. My apologies for that. But nobody did. So you have to understand that you will not hold on. In hindsight, these types of moves look amazing, but you yourself will not do that. So just realize that. So maybe you yourself, if you're doing maybe a harmonics trade or whatever the case may be, you will you may sell off and get rid of a buy pattern maybe from here to here, and you get off here because of the MA that you have. Whatever the case may be, it's whatever your strategy is. Do not follow other people's strategies. It's not worth it, because in the end, it's all your analysis. Eventually, and I promise you this, as you keep developing, it's going to take you time, but as you keep developing, eventually you're going to have your aha moment, and then you're going to find what works best for you, and that's what's going to end up happening. Do not follow these people who show you these charts and they say, look at this movement. We could have caught 300 pips. We could have caught 800 pips. We could have caught 1,000 pips. All of these things is irrelevant, because that is perfect case scenario. All of these firms will tell you nobody knows the high to the low. Nobody knows the high to the low of today. They may know previous, which is what these yellow lines are. They may know the previous, but they do not know when the high and the low will happen. For all we know, this was the high of the day, or this was the high of the day. We never knew that this was going to be the actual high of the day. No one actually knows that. So you can say all you want, well, the market makers know that. Whatever makes you sleep better at night. But ultimately, none of these institutional banks and all this sort of stuff, they don't really know when the actual cap is going to be. They have a range, but they don't know the actual cap. So don't believe this boogeyman that they're out to get you and they're out to try to get rid of your money and all this sort of stuff. Blah 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 blah. It's so funny because the people who say the boogeyman or the banksters or the market makers out to get you, they're all the ones that are supposedly making all the money, right? all these gurus and all these people in the YouTube channels and their companies and all this sort of stuff. They say this, and then but yet they're making all this money. It doesn't make any sense. So just understand that. It's just take your time, be patient. The word of the day and the word of this journey is patience. If you lose money, that's totally fine. If you go through this whole thing through demo, that's fine too. One big thing that I can advise you is that if you plan on putting $1,000 into a real account, trade with $1,000 demo. Do not get used to a $25,000 demo and try to do that to yourself. Don't do it. I can tell you too that a lot of people do this, which is they will trade a demo account, but they will link it to their live account. So maybe the pressure of yourself doesn't get scared on trading real money because your demo trades get linked to your live trades on a mirror, and it trades automatically on that for you. Don't trade with high leverage brokers. Doing this 1 to 1,000, 1 to 2,000, 1 to 1,000 seems to be a very, very popular leverage amount. Don't trade with that. That's insane. Brokers that give you that type of leverage are going to be B-booking you. If you don't know what B-booking is, look it up. But, because I don't really have time. But, and that's probably a completely different video. But they're going to do things like this to you. And all of these things are what's going to help you develop as a trader. But again, going back to the key points, if you're new or if you're struggling, go to babypips.com. Try to go through the course. Go through the free courses. Go to everything that is free for you. Even if you end up finding something that's garbage, at least it was free, right? So, but Baby Pips is not garbage. They're really, really great. I haven't gone through the course myself, but I know a lot of people that have, and they say that it's great. Go through that, look at just the Euro USD, and just follow along. Just try to analyze the chart with whatever time you have and try to find the best scenarios. Write down and journal every single trade that's going through, and just be a good trader for yourself. Forex trading and trading in itself is a very individuality experience. You as yourself will find the best strategy for you. Nobody's going to be able to give you the booklet. That's why when you go to a firm, they don't just give you this book and say, okay, here it is. All these books are out there because they're telling you their side of what they think is right and what they think is good. Read them to try to see their point of view, because maybe, just maybe, you're able to pinpoint little things here, and then you're able to, take little snippets, little whatever you want to call them, nuggets or whatever you want to call them, to be able to develop yourself as a trader. That is going to be the best thing for you, because in the firms, they sit you down into a classroom. You go through probably maybe 30 days, 60 days of training, and you go through a lot of the basics. You go through trend lines, and you go through Fibonacci's, and you go through support and resistance, and you go through all of these things that are going to help you. If all of these things didn't matter, or they were bull crap, quote unquote bull crap, they wouldn't be teaching you this stuff, because they're bringing you into this firm for you to make them money. So they aren't bull crap. They actually do work, but you have to know how to utilize them for your own strategy. Look at what works for you. What I may not see, you may, and what you might not see, I may. Doesn't make you wrong, doesn't make me wrong. There's a million ways to do it right. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment in the comment section of this video. I know a lot of people want me to do a lot of reviews on companies. Please, 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 if you want me to do a review on a company, or you think they're a scam already and you want me to, expose them, you've got to email me the proof. I'm not going to make a scamming video based off of you telling me to do it. You've got to give me the proof, and if I don't feel like it's valid enough, then I'll do my own research, and then I'll see if I can find any valid information. But right now, I need you guys, if you want me to make a video, you need to give me the information, and that's going to be it. So, and of course, I'll always keep your names out if you guys want me to keep your names out. There's a lot of people who have emailed me. I've not said any of their names. So if you guys are, hesitant because you don't want me to expose you, whatever, I'm not going to do that. I respect your privacy. So again, my email address is brucelong81@gmail.com, and so you can email me there if you want to discuss anything when it comes with doing any sort of videos. And I just want you guys to be safe out there. Always be safe. And as always, stay safe.